Welcome back to Yang Daily. I'll be your host, Alex Cheney, bringing you all the Yang news you need to live your life right. We have a ton of news to cover today. It seems all the calm of the last couple days was building up to a torrent. Enough chit-chat, let's get straight to it. Shout out to our Tier 3 patrons, Peter Park and Shay Meehan, as well as all our other patrons. This podcast wouldn't be here without you. I'll be looking for your input on some more polls soon as I have a moment to put them together. But jumping right in with some great news, Humanity Forward candidate Carlos Cardona has won his congressional primary in New Hampshire, which is to say that he made it into the top 4. Since there are 4 seats up for grabs, he and 3 other Democrats will face off against 4 Republicans for the seats in the general election. Carlos got 19% of the vote, with the top candidate getting 25%. We survived round 1, now it's time for the main event. Congratulations also to Adam Christensen for winning the endorsement of 4 Gainesville City Commissioners, Johnson, Simmons, Santos, and Ariola. And the hits keep on coming as brand new polling shows Donna Imam only 6% behind her Republican opponent in Texas. It's 37% to 43%, and there are still 11% undecided and 10% polling for 2 other candidates. For Donna to have brought the race this close against an incumbent, much less in a traditionally red state, is nothing short of incredible, and the undecided votes could easily push her over the top. The momentum is on her side, and we have to get her through those last 9 yards. On that note, Turnout 2020 volunteers are calling Texas voters for Donna. Join them in a phone bank session this Saturday at the link below. This is how we move the needle, gang. You might recall that we talked about how the Republican Senate was preparing a relief bill even smaller than their last, which doesn't include stimulus checks, which they call their skinny bill. Well, they're going ahead with that tomorrow. It's only $500 billion for a $300 a week UI bonus, funding for the post office, and the highly flawed Paycheck Protection Program, as well as some other minor stuff. It's exactly what I feared. They're using Trump's executive order as an excuse to offer even less, when the original bill already was crumbs compared to what is needed to pull us out of a deep recession. McConnell is basically saying the Senate cannot come to an agreement on anything but what's in this bill. As Scott said, it's called the skinny bill because they want people to starve. I don't even know what to say anymore. The Democratic Congress is subpar, but these people in the Senate, I can't imagine who in their right mind would vote for them. It's all the worse in light of the hiring data that came out today, which shows that when the Senate allowed the UI bonus to expire because they were worried that it would disincentivize people from rejoining the labor force, which had already been disproved, there were 8.3 million more unemployed people than jobs available. Moreover, it showed that the hiring rate has declined to lower than pre-pandemic levels, meaning that we have many times more unemployed than before the pandemic, but businesses are hiring at a slower rate, making for a very bad situation that will not end anytime soon. Huge movement today on the front in the case against Evelyn's sexual assaulter. Today marked the unsealing of an indictment against Robert Hadden, the former New York City University physician. He is now in custody awaiting trial. Let justice be served. There's also a new article on Evelyn regarding the issue. The ACLU is launching a new voting rights project in combination with Hit Record. The project aims to inform people of their voting rights, especially those with disabilities. They're asking for help from the rest of us by creating video, graphic, and other content to help get the word out on these rights. Follow the link below to contribute. The Sufficiency for Sustainability Network has produced a UBI Advocates Map, which shows the location and information on UBI advocate networks across the world. They're still building it out, but it'll be a useful resource. Garrett Hayake, I think, interviewed Yang today for the Texas Tribune to talk UBI, data rights, democracy reform, the primary debates, and Biden's normalization power. If you follow Yang, you've probably heard most of it, but he did say something on the debates which I hadn't heard before, which was basically to propose exactly what I would like to see, which is every candidate being asked the same questions, answering at greater length in private, and then using the debate as a follow-up for candidates and moderators to sort of cross-examine the answers after everyone has had time to really absorb and consider them. Not holding my breath that the DNC is going to do that anytime soon, or the RNC for that matter. Here's something I didn't see coming. Ben Shapiro likes ranked choice voting. I've become fairly accustomed to Ben finding ways to sound reasonable while promoting the least humane policies possible, but in this case at least, he's on the same page as Yang in wanting people to be able to choose their favorite candidate and make it possible for third parties to win. Who knew? There's a video clip of him talking about it below. There's also an RCV petition from Represent Us. Please take a moment to add your name. If that wasn't surprise enough, how about former President Medvedev advocating for a UBI in Russia? Yeah, that happened too. It's almost like these good ideas are spreading. Finally, if you live in or near Atlanta, Georgia, you can start your Basic Income March Week celebrations with a sneak peek of the UBI documentary Inherent Good at the iconic Plaza Drive-In Theater on September 13th, 8 p.m. Eastern. Half the ticket proceeds will go to HF Georgia, an advocacy group working for UBI in Georgia. Also, to clear up some confusion, the march this year will have physical demonstrations across the world that you are encouraged to join in, while maintaining safe social distance practices, with masks of course, but we're also tracking steps on the Watt app until the end of the year. I think I may have misspoken earlier to suggest the whole thing was virtual. It's not. Check the map to find your local march and meet up for some good old-fashioned civic protest on the 18th. And that'll do it for today's Yang Daily. Congratulate Carlos, help phone bang for Donna and get the word out on voting rights with the ACLU, sign the RCV petition, help recruit other organizations to the cause and get everyone to sign the UBI petition, flood Congress and Trump with calls, tweets, and letters using the Resist bot or Income Movement easy contacts below. If you need help, consult Humanity Forward, the Income Movement Aid Database, the Mission Asset Fund, United Way, or the H3 podcast thread. And don't forget to Yang Daily.